Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning on this beautiful Thursday. This is episode 468 of the Two Dum Yinzers coming at you this morning with Mike and Derpy. Say hi, guys. Mike, you do not have a mic.
What
Good
up,
morning.
everyone?
Mike has no mic. You know what?
Like,
This, this
always forget to. I reminded myself. I was like, I gotta unmute this, and I went and did everything else
well,
before the show.
the funny thing is, Mike, that I often encourage Mike to do his drinking because it smooths the sailing for the show.
Go back and watch yesterday's.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh
Don't
gosh.
don't you worry.
Oh shit. I tuned that one out.
Well, yesterday did go well on the show. I got to admit, great job, guys. But there's always disadvantages with Mike when he's doing his drinking. Of course, we see small bits of it here when he often forgets to turn on his mic, things like this. But yesterday, I was doing some post show work about an hour after the show, and I remember Mike was drinking in the morning, and I get a text from Mike, and he says, hold on, just I'll read. I don't want to mess
Oh
this
no.
up. I'll read this verbatim, just so you
I
can get,
hate you so much right now.
just so you can get the feel of what it is that. Okay,
What Ryan has to deal with.
here it
What
is.
did
So I
this man do?
did a little work on the show, and all of a sudden I get this text from Mike, and it says, "Dude, I accidentally placed a Papa John's order to the studio. Larger pizza, boneless wings. Eat up. I'm having trouble getting through to cancel it." So I thought, cool. Got pizza coming, wings on the way. So I finished doing my work. About an hour goes by, and I go down to check because they just usually leave it at the door. And there was no pizza, no wings.
What?
So I
What?
went, I went, and I had some things to do. I went and got a shower. And about another hour later, I went and I checked by again, and there was no pizza, no wings. So I'm thinking this motherfucker is so drunk. He ordered something. He thought that he ordered it to the wrong place, and it never came here. That never came here.
It was never delivered.
No,
I was charged. I bet it. I bet it was delivered to the front house.
I went and I looked over there, and there's nothing. I see nothing. So I
Oh,
thought maybe you got it fixed to have it come,
no. Uh-uh.
to you, or to maybe you got it canceled or whatever.
No.
But the pizza never showed up.
They ate it.
Well, either that or Mike was so loaded he don't know, he has no idea what he did.
I'm
Which is
looking at,
what the direction I'm leaning.
yeah, I'm looking at bank statements. I got charged for it.
Yeah, I definitely get a hold of them because there was no pizza showed up at the studio. I can tell you that.
Huh.
Hmm.
Hmm. This is wild.
Yeah. So this is a day in the life of dealing with Mike when he drinks. However, you do see the difference on the show. He's a little bit more of a delight. I
I
don't
am
know if it's
happy. I'm happy. I'm fun.
I don't know if it's good for the show, but I know it's good for me. So I run with it. But so I ended up getting you know what I did? I ended up eating some chipped ham sandwiches. Yeah, so much better than a larger pizza
Huh.
and boneless wings. And here's the thing with the chip ham with me. Did you ever notice that the paper they put inside with the chipped ham is the same as the chipped ham?
Yeah.
But the ham is so thin, and what happens is you end out eventually that paper they use with their hands to put the meat in. You end up pulling that off, thinking it's the meat. So I had that whole issue dealing with, and I ate paper a couple of times. So and it all comes back to Mike being drunk. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit this morning.
Well, I just rated them online now.
That was the
They
greatest drunk story I've ever
you
heard.
are put on blast, Papa John's. I just put you on blast.
And there you go. Meanwhile, we're talking about them, so maybe 10 people will order it today, and they'll actually get a
Yeah.
little promotion.
Yeah. That was $26.02.
Get a
How
little
okay, I ordered the
plug.
exact same thing, right? And to where the studio is located, it was $26. Where I'm located in the satellite studio was $23. Make it make sense. And I gave the same tip amount as well.
He spent like $50 yesterday to get a pizza and some wings.
Yeah, and I was hoping you got it. Like a no sweat off my back if you did, man. Help a brother out, feed the studio. No, not even that.
And as I said, I had things to do, so I didn't, I never got back to. I just figured you had taken care of it, and you were drunk, and you didn't, get back to me to
Yeah,
let me know what was going on. So,
yeah. I
so,
figured it was delivered and all set, all squared away for you, bro.
and you know how you get the juices moving, and
Oh
you like
yeah, you're like
when you
food's
get a
coming.
taste for something, and you
Uh
know what
huh.
it is, and you kind of
Hmm.
start thinking about it.
I tell you, what, it was good, man. It was a large pepperoni pizza, extra sauce, extra cheese, honey barbecue, boneless wings, some ranch dipping sauce. It was good.
So there you
It was,
have
it
it.
was good for
Now I
me.
need
Was it
some.
good for you?
But I'm sure it comes back to your drinking somehow.
Oh, it did too. Because like the last time I used the app was when I was at the studio. God, that was like God, it had been like 6 months ago when I used the app to order pizza, and
Yeah.
I ordered it, and I'm like, wait a sec, wait, something doesn't seem right. Let me just double check, and I'm glad I did. But I called, and I got sent to a call center. Then they put me back through the call list as I'm sitting there on hold. I'm watching the pizza tracker go from order placed to order being made, order in the oven. I'm like, by the time I get a hold of them, the shit's already cooked.
Yeah. So there you go. We got a show today. We're going to talk about some. We got a few things we're going to talk about. We also have some extra things we're going to do for this morning. I do want to start by saying Mike Tomlin says that Pickens, I'm sorry, George Pickens will start versus the Bengals on Saturday. He also says in the conversation that Pickens is growing in a lot of ways, Mike. He's maturing, if you will. What Pickens looks like he's doing is doing the opposite of maturing for me. He was okay early on. Now he's turning into
Yeah, yeah. Like I
A
get
jerk.
he can I understand where he's coming from. Like, you want to win, you want to have like your best guy out there because if he's right in the head, he's like your best receiver.
that's a
But
big
at the
if.
but yeah, and that is a big if. And like you shut him down, hey, you can lose him for the rest of the year, which might not be a bad thing, or it could be a bad thing. And there's still they still want to win. They still want to, try and win out, make and have a chance to make the playoffs. You got to play your best guy. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm here for the drama and the fireworks. So I hope he goes out and has another
Days of our Steelers.
lackadaisical performance because that's more fodder for us, more entertainment for everyone else. So I'm hoping it ends poorly.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see this game. I think there'll definitely be something odd that happens. It is the
Mm-hmm.
Bengals. It is a division game. The Bengals are fighting hard. They're trying to get in. We're
Mm-hmm.
doing whatever it is that the Steelers are doing, and it's something will happen. There'll be plenty next week to talk about. I'm sure we'll text over the weekend and say, you know what, there's going to be a lot to talk about this week, and I don't doubt that that's going to happen. So I'm excited about that. George Pickens will be starting. Pittsburgh Steelers are 2-point underdogs at home to the Bengals. This is the last home game of the regular season. After this, you have two away games before we wrap it up. If some chance we could if something happens and we go to the playoffs, then it won't be over at that point. But it's looking a lot at the moment like we will be finishing up in Baltimore 2 weeks from this weekend, which is crazy because it's already going to be the end of the season. I
Yeah.
waited all year. We talk about the Steelers and
Mm-hmm.
getting ready. We can't wait. And here we are, just 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks from the regular season being
That's
over.
wild. That is wild. Like, God, I remember we were just talking about off-season stuff, and
Yeah.
then now we're here.
Yep.
Remember, we were like 50 days till the NFL
Oh
kickoff.
God, you were like 100 days in, dude. You
Yeah.
were starting that shit because you're psycho. Now I can't wait until we're 100 days away from the new season.
Is it still possible for the TJ Watt tattoo?
I don't think so, Derpy.
I would spend that money if I were you, Derby. I
Yeah,
wouldn't hold on to that.
yeah.
Maybe donate it, pay some bill, whatever you want to do. But it might be a little stretch of a stretch this week. But you know what, Derby? Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. The season kicks off tonight. The Saints travel to LA to play the Rams in an all 7-7 game. Both of these teams are 7-7. That game's at 8:15. That kicks off the weekend, and of course, it goes to Saturday. We'll get more into the games later on in the hour because we do have to do our picks this week, guys. But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit more Steelers in reaction to George Pickens, his whole situation, the block or the lack thereof, because he didn't want to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to block a guy
He didn't want to get hurt.
because he didn't want to get hurt. And the play was blocking for Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren says, in quote, "If I was in that position, I would have blocked for him."
Right?
Simple as that. And the thing is, I don't even think it's about Warren being a disciplined football player, a good football player. It's just common. You know what?
Yeah.
You're a football player. Sometimes you got to block somebody, even if you're a receiver. And um, I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see how this weekend plays out. I can't wait to the game, and I can't wait to see what kind of um, just sideshow shit that we're gonna have to deal with this week. And with we're gonna see if the guys that are in question, if they pull their shit together and actually play football, they actually play decent. Are they going to be able to perform? Are they playing to win? Are they playing just to get the season over with? So many questions are to be answered at this point. So I think this game will be a lot of fun as we sit and watch it on Saturday afternoon. Derby, let me ask you, because I mean we're awfully pessimistic right now about the Steeler team. What do you think the Steelers are going to do Saturday, Derby?
It really depends on the quarterbacks.
Derpy.
Yeah. On the
But
Steelers,
I think they could squeeze a win out. I really do.
I think they can too. But do I think they are? I don't know.
Would it be better for the future though?
Yeah. So I guess we can't lose. Either way, you win, right? You win, you win. You lose, you win, because you get, you work in a better direction.
Working your way up the draft pit board.
But as Mike would say, if you win, you lose, and if you lose, you win. Which it's
Exactly.
arguable, because you might think to yourself, a win will get us one step closer to the playoffs, but on the other hand, a win will get you one step further from a higher draft pick. So at this point, I guess just enjoy it, watch the game, and see what happens. Because as I said, I think that there's going to be a lot of things on the table. Are the guys, are they going to try? Are they going to look like crap again? Are they going to respond to what's being said and play football? Are they go? There's a lot of questions to be answered on Saturday afternoon. I can't wait. I don't know what to expect. A lot of times I have a general idea what to expect during a Steeler game, just because I've been around for a while and you've seen a lot. But you know what? I really do not know what to expect from this weekend's game, guys.
No, this team, you can get a multiple different Steeler teams
during the game. I have that team that comes out the first couple drives looking like a focused, prepared football team. And then about 3-4 drives in, they look like a Pop Warner team who don't know how to run. They can't block. They can't tackle. They can't throw. They can't catch. And then, they slowly will have a drive or two where they look competent again, and then to where they look completely lost. This team, I don't know what's going on. And even like players that you think should be solid throughout the whole game, they have lapses. They have times where they're not giving their all. So you never know what team you're going to get.
Is it safe to call it a
drive?
Is it safe to call it a chemical imbalance? I mean,
I think so. I think so. It is. Even I don't know, like Ryan and I, we've been talking on and off, man. What's the effort of like the star players too? Like on the defense, because no one wants to criticize them, but what's the effort that some of those guys give? And like we were talking yesterday, you have an outside linebacker who's just running away from the run plays because they're focused on getting to the sacks. You have defensive linemen that are just out there loafing.
And let me play devil's advocate with you, Mike, because last week you had mentioned that this defense could just be getting so worn out from carrying this team for 15 games now. Is that the result of what's going on defense? I mean, you could pay this defense $1 billion, but if the offense does next to nil all season, in the defense, you were 7-4 basically off the back of your defense. Do you think a little bit of that plays in as well, where it's not the defense giving up so much, or is where the defense is just beat? They basically won 14 games. I'm sorry, 7 games. on one hand, I think that it's a little bit of both. I think that there's a little attitude, a little personality, a little bit of laziness. But on the other hand, I think to myself, this team carried the way as we sat 7-4, where we, according to what our offense was doing, we shouldn't have been sitting at 7-4.
Yeah, but even they were out there a lot. But there were times though too when they offense came off a long scoring drive and then boom, they give up scores right away. And granted, they're a banged up unit. That team or that unit has lost a lot of key starters. So I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but also at the same time, you still got to put in the effort.
Yeah.
If we want to criticize George Pickens, we want to criticize Deontay Johnson. There's players on that defense that make a lot of money that are a lot of people's favorite players on this team. They should not be above reproach as well. And TJ Watt, Highsmith, Minka, Cam, there are plays. When go back and watch the games, there are effort plays that they're not making all the time, but no one wants to talk about it. Steelers defense, and we all love those guys because they are or were at one point some of the best players in their position. But that shouldn't, shouldn't excuse you from being held to the same standard we're holding everyone else to as well.
Yeah.
I would like to get inside scoop from Tallman or anybody from the inside to see what their opinion is on TJ Watt's latest defensive style. I mean, I recall him stopping run in the past, and
and he does his best to his ability, even though he gets held all the time. The thing is,
at the end of the day, TJ Watt leads the AFC in outside linebacker Pro Bowl voting, which means there's a lot of people that see what he does well.
I'm tired of going to the Pro Bowl.
He does very well, and he puts up numbers like nobody else at what he does. So I would like to know from somebody on the inside or from the coach or, coordinator, somebody, if this is what is expected and accepted for TJ Watt and his style to not, be that prominent in the run stop, but be that guy, because at some point you're watching tape and you see TJ Watt run by everybody to go after the quarterback, and it turns out to be a run. So at some point this has to come up somewhere. So that's what I'm saying. I'd like to get I'd like to know without a bullshit sugar-coated answer on if this is what is acceptable. If this is the coach to say, you know what, TJ, just continue to do that, because if they are passing, you're a huge threat to that. On the other hand, you have 10 other guys on this defense. They should be able to stop the run if in fact that happens. Because here's the thing, it's been going on for a couple seasons now. It seems like every year he gets a little bit further away from being that total package, and he becomes, he really molds that whatever it is that he does, that pass rush. And again, he's the best at it. So, what do? You take that out of the game to get in somebody who tackles a little bit better on the run, but gives you 4 sacks a season. Where's the balance, and how does it, how is it supposed to play out, Mike?
I think they were counting on Cam Hayward just being able to be the guy to stop the run on that side because they play right next to each other. And Cam has lost that ability over the past 3 to 4 years. He has gone downhill to where he can't just be the guy to stuff the run on that side. And that's what helped TJ Watt a lot. He knew, hey, I have Cam over here, so I can kind of run my way out of the play. And even like in the past, you'd see Watt run himself out of the play, but he would still try and make that effort to get to the running back, or he would see it and make that quick cut to try and make that tackle behind the line. Now he's just zeroing in on the quarterback and the quarterback only. We see burn a lot on quick draws, cutbacks to that way. We see teams they run to his side. They don't run to Highsmith's side. Highsmith's the better run stuffer. And Watt's even he has a couple picks this year, but I thought he was better in coverage earlier in his career than now.
And they don't. It's hit or miss because you don't see him drop back in coverage too much.
But when he does, he comes up with a timely pick, a timely knockdown. Right. I like to see him more in coverage. Might help. It's a good word to describe what he's doing, and not to insult his game, but it's a half-ass game. He's playing a half-ass style. And if anything, that describes what the Steelers have done in the season to this point. Everything has been half-assed. The offensive effort, you'd stink in the first half, you come back in the second half, and you win. There's a
there. TJ Watt, he's good at stopping the run or stopping the pass all of a sudden and not stopping the run all of a sudden. He's doing a half. Everything seems like it's half-assed this year. Nothing seems like it's from beginning to end. And if anything, and I'm thinking to myself, where does this sound familiar? The coach doesn't particularly care about 30 minutes of football. So if maybe Comlin and company, would press these guys. I don't know if you remember, Derpy, but when Mike and I were in high school and the Steelers, they had the 60-minute men. That was the motto. That was what these guys went by. That's what these guys lived by. And it was 60 minutes. You knew when you was coming to Pittsburgh to play football, we're playing this team, you were going to get 60 minutes of football. I would like to see something like that instilled back into this football team because, again, this has been 30 minutes and no more.
Yeah, because we found a way to where, we just survive for that first 30 minutes, and then that last 30 minutes, defense takes over and the offense does just enough. Yeah. You can't survive a whole season like that. You can survive little patches, which is what we saw this year. We survived patches. You can't win football like that. That's like in hockey. What is weather the first 10 minutes of the game? You can lose the whole game right there in that first 10 out of 60. Football, you can, you lose that first half. You're done unless you keep it close. We were able to do early in the season when the defense was healthy and fresh. Now they're not. That's not a recipe for success.
KZ suspension is upheld. He will be done for the rest of the year.
If we make the playoffs, he's able to play.
Yeah, as I said, he's done for the rest of the year.
Win it for Kazee, baby. Win it for Kazee.
Cam Hayward is cleared to play. He's cleared his concussion protocol, so Cam will be back in full health. Also, this game on Saturday. Guys, I got some more fun for us today. I'm gonna break up the monotony a little bit.
We need some fun. Derpy, you need some fun in your life.
Well, last week, as you recall, we did the Old Saint nicknames game, and it was all Pittsburgh athletes. It was baseball, It was football, it was hockey. Yeah. Anybody that was a Pittsburgh athlete, we were challenged. I challenged the guys to see how who they knew and whose nicknames. Well, today I have a NFL version of Old Saint nicknames for Christmas time. This is going to be another present to the guys because it is the NFL, and I think these guys will do very well. I got 26 guys.
Ooh.
Do you want? Let me ask you. Do you want me to give you guys the nickname, and you's got to tell me the player, or do you want the player, and then in reverse?
Oh, and we have to say their nickname.
Yeah. Derpy, what do you think?
Oh, that's going to be rough either way.
Derpy! What was it again?
Hold on, Derpy's on his other show right now.
Yeah.
No.
We haven't seen Hollywood Derpy in a couple
Derpy's
days.
over there just stringing along monologues. He comes over here, he rests.
And remember last week when I was explaining the rules the third time? He goes, "Wait, what is it?"
Right?
Hollywood Derpy, Smalls. There he is.
Hollywood Derpy, baby.
Hollywood Derpy. So what, Derpy? The question is, the game that we played last week, I gave you a nickname of a famous Pittsburgh athlete, and your job was to tell me who the athlete was. We could do it the same way with the NFL players that we have on the list today, or I could give you the player's name and you give me the nickname. What do you think?
Nickname.
You want the nickname?
And
you want to guess the player? Mike, is that okay?
Yeah, we'll do it like that.
Okay, so we're gonna do it the same way we did last week. We're gonna go down the list. We're gonna go one by one. We're gonna start with one of you, and it's gonna go to the other. It's gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna give you the NFL player's nickname as quickly as you can because it's a rapid fire game. You have to give me the athlete, and then on to the next person. You could be right, you could be wrong. I'll let you know. Correct, incorrect, whatever it is. We move on to the next, and then we tally up the score at the end. All right.
All right.
Understood?
Understood
in Hollywood, Derpy?
Understood in Hollywood.
All right. There we go. Derpy, you won the picks this week. So you get the pick. Do you want to do these? Do you want to do the game you first, or do you want Mike to start off?
I'll have Mike start off.
All right, Mike, here we go.
I'm ready.
You guys ready? I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way to the top. So here we go. First player on the list, I'll start with you, Mike. Again, I'll let you know if you're right or wrong. Then I'll go to Derpy. Same thing. Rapid fire. Here we go. Mike, number 1. Go. The Juice. Incorrect.
Oh, come on, O.J. Simpson.
Derpy. He Hate Me. Incorrect. Mike, Pepper.
Julius Peppers.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Derpy, The Red Rifle. Incorrect. Mike, Booger.
Booger McFarland.
Correct. Derpy, Cheetah.
Yeah, it's Dan Sonoma.
Incorrect.
Tyreek
Mike,
Hill.
Tuna.
Tua.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Derpy, The Playmaker. Incorrect. Mike, Moose.
Oh, fullback for the Cowboys. Forget his name. Daryl Johnson.
Correct. Derpy, Icky. Incorrect.
I'm a blank.
All right. As long as you're still alive. That was the only thing.
Yeah, that's what
I
was worried you died over there.
Time out. All right, let's take a break, everybody. First intermission here.
Ooh.
Breathe. Stop.
Once again, I know most of Derpy's guys.
That's all right. That's not your question, so don't worry about that.
I want to answer when he gets them wrong.
Well, you got OJ wrong, so that was the.
I would have known that one.
Well, he got it, but it was after the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you guys what you got right and what you got wrong so far. The ones that you got wrong with OJ, the Juice was OJ. He Hate Me was Rod Smart, who ended up from the XFL, went to play for Philly and Carolina. Pepper, Thomas Pepper Johnson, the linebacker from the Giants.
Never heard of him.
Red Rifle, and Andy Dalton. Booger was Booger McFarland, which Mike got correct. Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Derpy, I thought you would have had that one.
Yeah.
Tuna, Bill Parcells.
I forgot about that fuck.
The Playmaker, Michael Irvin.
Yep.
Moose, Mike got correct. Daryl Moose Johnston. And finally, Icky was Icky Woods. Icky Woods.
Shuffle.
So, Mike, so far, after the first 10, I believe, it looks like Mike has 2 correct. Derpy has none. We're getting ready to just kick off the second part here. So, Mike, it's going to start with you. Derpy, right. You ready?
I'm ready.
You sure?
He's in the other room, but
I know.
Ready.
I don't know if he's in the
I'm ready.
Sounds
I'm ready.
so far away.
Is he on the yeah.
I'm ready.
Maybe he's not hearing right over the fire alarm. You know what? I don't even know if I hear it anymore. One day I heard it when I was watching back through the show, but I don't hear it all the time, so I don't know.
He may have fixed it.
All right, here we go, guys. Second round of the Old Saint nicknames.
I hate you.
Mike, it starts with you. Here we go. Mike, Too Tall.
Ed Too Tall Jones.
Correct. Derpy, Ironhead.
His kids play on the Steelers.
Incorrect. Mike, The Rocket.
The Rocket. I don't know that one.
Rakib Ishmael.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Derpy, The Nigerian Nightmare.
Oh,
incorrect. Mike, back. Bad Moon.
Andre, Bad Moon Rising.
Correct. Derpy, Cadillac. Incorrect.
Derpy's sleeping.
Mike, The Freak.
Javon Curse.
Correct. All right. So we're going to take another break. I have to see if Derpy's alive.
I know. I'm worried.
I might not be.
Maybe it was a carbon monoxide alarm going off over there and it finally succumbed. I'm legit worried.
The times like this, I wish that we could hear that, because I don't know. Like there's just dead silence, and there's certain ones that I think the Derpy would know. And then when I hear the dead silence, I think that
Well, Derby's going to use the excuse I wasn't born then. and Too Tall Jones, I wasn't born then, but I know Ed Too Tall Jones.
So we have 9 left, guys. The ones we got correct and incorrect that round were Mike. Ed got Ed Too Tall Jones, Ironhead Hayward, Derby. That's Cam Hayward's dad, Craig. Hammerhead Hayward. The Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye.
Oh, he played for the Chiefs, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike got Bad Moon Rising, Cadillac Carnell Williams, and the freak was Javon Curse.
Dude was a freak. My God.
So Derpy, pull yourself together, put your thinking cap on, because the last group is definitely the easiest. So you got some coming back to do, but I think you could do it. All right.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Derp. You got this, Hollywood.
So Derpy, you're gonna go first. This is the last round. Here we go. Derpy. Night Train.
Oh my God.
Incorrect. Mike.
Oh, I know that one.
Deacon.
Deacon Jones.
Correct. Derpy. Megatron.
Calvin Johnson.
There we go, Derpy.
Correct. Mike. Where did I go? Oh, Minister of Defense.
Reggie White.
Correct. 4 left, guys. Derpy, the refrigerator. Incorrect. Mike, prime time.
Deion Sanders.
Derpy, Broadway. Incorrect. And finally, Mike, Sweetness.
The running back. Was that Gale Sayers? No.
Incorrect.
Oh, it's the other Chicago Bears running back. I forget his name.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. Thank you. Yeah, because
so
this
this round,
the Chicago Bears.
Night Train, Dick Lane, Deacon, David Deacon Jones.
I never knew his first name. I always knew him as Deacon.
Megatron, Calvin Johnson, Minister of Defense, Reggie White, the refrigerator, William Perry, Primetime Dion, of course, Broadway, Joe Namath, Derpy, and Sweetness was Walter Payton. So, Mike, you did win this week's game, the NFL installment of Old Saint Nicknames. But Derpy, you're doing good, and you know what? Maybe that is the case, because if I was playing this and more players were asked before my time, maybe I wouldn't do as well as the players that were during my time. But Derpy, there was definitely a couple in there I thought that you should have had, and I think that ultimately you did know. But
probably should have went the other way.
Yeah, named a nickname.
Name. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's try this. Hold on.
We're just trying to get Derpy a win here, apparently.
Hold on, Derpy. Let me help you out. You ready? All right, Derpy. This is only for Derpy, Mike. You don't answer. All right, Derpy, I'm going to give you the name. You give me the nickname. You ready?
All right.
All right.
Derpy.
Walter Payton.
Sweetness.
Joe Namath.
Derpy.
We just did it, Derpy.
I know he did.
Incorrect. Deion Sanders.
Prime time.
Correct. William Perry.
Fridge.
Reggie White.
Minister of Defense.
If you could go through these whole Derpy, if you run the table and get all these correct the whole way down the list, I'll make this a tie and Mike didn't win. Okay. Mike. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go. Calvin Johnson.
Megatron.
Javon Curse.
He's something there.
Oh my.
Yeah, oh my.
I'll come back to that. Andre Rison.
Oh my.
Oh my God.
All right. Hey, that's all right.
Who was his girlfriend that burnt down his house?
Yeah, who was Andre Rison's famous singer girlfriend who burnt down his mansion by shoving all the stuffed animals that he ever bought her in the bathtub and setting it on fire and burning down the whole mansion. If you can answer that, I'll give you the win. Lisa Left Eye Lopez. All right, guys.
She was a nut.
She was a nut. We do have picks to do here. We're going to do them shortly, guys. I do want to touch on a few of these other things going on. The Pitt Panthers, they beat the basketball team beats Purdue Fort Wayne last night, 62-48. The Panthers improved to 9-3 on the season. Their next game is at Syracuse on Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Ooh, the Qs, baby.
Pittsburgh, the Penguins, and related Marc-Andre Fleury with his 549th win the other night, as we spoke of yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, is in third place all time, and he's only 3 wins away from passing the second place Patrick Waugh, who Waugh has 551 wins all time, and he will be only second at that point to the great Marty Brodeur, who has 691 wins. 691. Again, Fleury's at 549. He could pass Waugh in the next few games.
Mm-hmm.
But Marty Brodeur, that's going to be a tough one to catch.
Yeah, I think Marty Brodeur might be safe for a little bit.
Yeah, and I think people are surprised when they hear this to say, you know what? I knew that he did good, and I knew that we won cups with him, and he was here for a long time, and he was a successful goalie. But at the end of the day, to think that he could be the second best goalie ever in the history of hockey. Like, it's kind of mind blowing.
It is true, and it literally cannot happen to a better human being.
Yeah, right.
Right, like that's like what everyone should strive to be is Fleury. He just doesn't let life get him down. He's just every time you see him in interviews, he's just happy.
I agree.
And positive, even after a loss, he still tries to be
smiling and
smiling to find something to be positive about. Yeah,
he kind of has that kind of like that timid small town boy. Personality. He's just he's just a good kid, and
until until there might be a goalie fight. Marc-Andre's ready to go down. I don't think he ever was in a goalie fight, but he's been ready to throw down.
But there you have it.
The flower, baby.
549. Only 2 points, 2 wins behind Patrick Waugh all time, guys. And that Brodeur, that's going to be a tough one. 691 wins. We're at 549. He still has about 142 to go.
Oh my God, that's like another 5 seasons.
Yeah. But you know what? Brodeur, he never, he just kept going and going.
He kept going. And they played the trap in front of him.
Yeah, right.
There was always like 8 guys back on defense. So that asterisk next to that.
Penguins in action tonight. Carolina Panthers come to town with a 17-12-3 record. Home team Penguins with a 14-13-3. This game's at 7 o'clock tonight.
We struggle against Carolina.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough past couple years. It's gonna be a tough. That team is fast.
See, what was that? Was Derpy talking on his other show?
I think it was.
Did you say the Panthers?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the Carolina Panthers.
No.
Or no, Florida Panthers. I was thinking the Carolina Hurricanes.
That's who we played. The Carolina Hurricanes.
You said the Carolina Panthers.
Mike, you should know better. It's the Panthers. I'm just kidding. It's the Hurricanes, Mike.
Yeah, we struggle against that.
Yes, of course. Here's another thing about the Penguins, guys. On Instagram, following teams in the NHL, the Penguins are the most followed team out of any team in the NHL on Instagram, with 2.88 million. 2.88 million followers on Instagram. The next team, 1 million behind them, Chicago, with 1.8 million followers. 1.8 million. In third place is Boston with a 1.67 million. Penguins by 1 million followers atop this list, better than everybody else.
Hell yeah, man. We insta famous.
Pittsburgh Pirates, after all the moves that they've been making, I know that Bucko Fever is on the rise.
Oh yeah, it is.
World Series tickets.
After the moves they made, yes, Derpy, we gotta get our World Series tickets ordered. This is what the starting lineup would be as of today. I know you love this in December. For batting, leading off, catcher Henry Davis, third base Key Brian Hayes, shortstop O'Neill Cruz, second base Liover Peguero, first base the newly acquired Rodney Tellez or Connor Joe. Next at bat would be the left fielder Brian Reynolds, After him, center fielder Jack Sawinski, right fielder newly acquired Edward Olivares, and finally the DH Andrew McCutcheon. Guys, not a bad lineup as of right now. I'm sure halfway through July we're going to be talking about how terrible this team is, but you know what? On paper, just as the Steelers were, just as basically everything in Pittsburgh has gone for the past couple of seasons, it looks like they might have an okay year. So pitching is key. That's where I think that they need to make their big improvements. They did grab a guy the other day, a World Series winning pitcher from Texas. That's a step in the right direction. So we'll see if they do more work, but that seems to be where we lack the most is starting pitching.
Yeah, pitching. We need a whole hell of a lot more of it.
All right, guys, it's time to jump over to do our picks for the week. Tonight is the opener of this weekend is the Saints and the Rams. And then we'll go in the full swing, guys. It'll be Saturday will be the next group of games. And then Christmas and, and then before you know it, it's going to be January, Won't be long.
Crazy.
Won't be long now, Derpy. All right, guys, you ready to pick some games?
I am ready to pick some games.
Let's do this.
All right, Derpy, I'm going to start with you. Or Derpy, you could pick. Who do you want to go first on the picks?
Mike.
All right, Mike. Derpy selected you, so we're going to go with you. The first game is tonight. Saints at Rams. Both teams 7-7. Mike, who do you think is going to win this football game?
I'm going to take the Rams. I don't like either team. I don't think either team's that good, but I like the Rams just a little bit more.
Derpy, over to you. Saints at the Rams.
I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to go with the Rams.
All right. Is that safe and just because you're taking the same team as Mike, or is that safe because you think that the Rams have that much more of an advantage over the Saints?
It's the first game. I'm playing it safe.
All right. Here we go. Next game on the schedule. I'm going to skip right over the Steelers-Bengals game, which is a Saturday game. We will get back to that. Next game on the list, guys, is the Saturday evening game at 8 o'clock. The Bills at the Chargers. This Bills team, they got a new charge. They're back. They're back to playing good football. All of a sudden, just like that, they hit the switch. They go out to L.A. 8 o'clock on Saturday evening, Mike, to play the Chargers, who just fired their head coach. Got a bunch of problems. Starting quarterback shut down for the season. Mike, who wins this game?
I'm taking Buffalo. Like you said, man, everything's pointing in their direction. They're on the rise right now. Buffalo and Chargers, man, talk about a team that is done and given up. People want to say the Steelers have given up. This Chargers team has given up big time.
Why can't we have them on our schedule?
We'd lose them.
Oh, you know what? You're probably right.
Yeah,
I'd rather play decent teams this time of year because at least we get our asses.
Yeah, we can't beat starting quarterbacks, man. They're on their backup quarterback. We are toast.
Yeah. Derpy, next game is the Bills at Chargers. Bills at Chargers. No questions asked.
No questions asked.
All right. All right, guys. The worst offense versus the worst defense in this next game in the NFL is the Commanders at the Jets. The Jets have number 32nd offense. The Commanders have the number 32nd defense. What gives Mike and who wins this football game? It's in New York.
Give me Washington.
All right, Derpy. Same question over to you. The number 32 offense in the Jets, the number 32 defense in the Commanders. It's at MetLife Stadium. Who wins this game? Mike took Washington.
Give me the Jets.
Mike took the defense. Derpy took the offense.
That might be better. Derpy may be right. Like, I'm not confident in either of these teams.
I'm not either. I think it's a crapshoot. Either one of you guys could win. I really can't get a grasp on that. You tend to lean toward defense, but a lot of times when the offenses are really good, it's a tough pick because But you know what? When the offense is really bad, I would go with the defense. But you know what? I'm not picking. Next game, guys, is a very, very important game for the NFC North. This game, it could go a long way because if the Vikings win out this season, like they win this division. Yes, Vikings win out. They win the division. The Lions at Minnesota. Lions, the power in that division. They're traveling up to play division foe Minnesota. As I said, if the Vikings win out, and they know this, they win the division. They can play at home. They huge game in the NFC North. Mike, Lions at Vikings.
And the Vikings have to beat Lions. Vikings play this week and the last week of
In
the
the last
season
week,
too.
yes, sir. They
That
went
is
out.
rough. I'm taking, wow, taking Detroit.
All right.
I have no expert analysis, but I just feel like Detroit, man, they're sitting in first place. They want to get that what number 2 seed I think they're fighting for.
I think the Vikings are going to win this one because the league wants it to stay interesting. The league wants you to think that Minnesota wins out, and it comes down to that last game. That's where my pick would be. But I'm going to say to turn it over to Derpy. Derpy, Lions at Vikings. Huge game.
Give me the Vikings. Give me the Vikings in an upset.
All right. I find it really hard to believe that Detroit will win both of these games. I just do. I don't think they'll beat them twice. The league's been weird this year. That's just kind of where I'm going. Next game on the list, guys. The Browns at the Texans. CJ Stroud appears to still be not participating in practice. Mike, a number 1 defense in Cleveland against the CJ Stroudless Houston Texans team in Houston.
Yeah.
Who wins this game?
I need to take a look at the depth chart here. Oh God, Case Keenum.
Mm-hmm.
That's just projected to start.
Yeah, I know, and he's still.
And he looked really bad last week. I mean,
oh God. Give me Cleveland. That defense, man. Give me Cleveland. Give me my boy Myles Garrett.
Derpy, same question to you. The Browns with the best defense in the league going down to play a CJ Stroudless Houston Texans. Who do you like?
Give me Cleveland.
I think you have to, right? If CJ Stroud's not in the lineup, I think you have to.
Yeah. If CJ Stroud's in the lineup, I'm leaning Texans.
Absolutely. Next game, Mike. Packers at Panthers. Now the Packers, they took an L last week. They were in that playoff spot. They're fighting, they're scratching, they're clawing their way back. They go down and play the hapless Panthers, who we hope they could get more than 9 people in that stadium this weekend. The funny thing about it is, they ever see that hologram show they do where that panther runs around the top of the stadium? They got some cool shit. If anything, I'd go there. I'd pay 45 cents or $4 or whatever it was to go see that shit. But we'll see if they could put any more asses in the seats. Mike, Packers at Panthers Sunday, 1:00.
I am going to take the Packers.
Derpy, over to you. Same question. Packers at Panthers.
Everybody needs some love. Give me Jordan Love and the Packers.
I like it. Derby's an original Stuart Scott. You remember Stuart Scott, Mike, on ESPN?
Oh, I hated Stu Scott.
He always had something.
What?
I was never a big Stuart Scott fan.
You didn't like him because he had the lazy eye, huh?
It scared me. Like, he was cool. Then, he oh, I can't do North Carolina highlights when they lose. Oh, you're a little bitch.
Oh, Stuart Scott was great. But we do got to move on, fellas. The next game on the list is the Seattle Seahawks making the trip to Tennessee, to Nashville. Country, I guess you would say. Texans hosting the Seahawks. Mike, who do you like?
I'm gonna take. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna take the Seahawks. They're still flying high off that come from behind victory
over Philly. I mean,
over Philly. Yeah, I think they're gonna carry it on, and I'm taking them.
Derpy, Seattle at Tennessee.
Give me the Seahawks.
All right. Okay. Colts at Falcons. We got to take a look at the Colts this weekend. We see what they're all about. We know what kind of team that is. They're traveling down to Hotlanta to play the Falcons. Strange. That's a strange team down there as well. Mike, Falcons hosting the Colts. Who wins this game?
I'm taking the Colts. And hopefully they do to us what, or do to Atlanta what they did to us. So we don't look as bad.
Derpy, 1:00 Sunday. Colts, Falcons. What do you think?
Give me the Colts.
All right, next one, Michael. The Jaguars at Tampa Bay, a battle of Florida. Jacksonville takes a trip down to Tampa Bay. Jaguars, Buccaneers, 4:05. Who do you think?
Oh, this is a tough one. Jacksonville, they're on a 3-game losing streak. Give me Tampa. They're on a little 3-game win streak, so a streak is going to be snapped. But
the hot Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield.
Give me a hot Baker Mayfield to keep the streaks alive. Even though I had a Freudian slip saying the streak will be snapped, but no, I think they are going to keep winning.
Derby, Jacksonville, and Tampa Bay. It's in Tampa.
Give me the Buccos.
All right.
Shake and bake. I'm joking.
Big game, big TV game for the weekend. No two ways about it, guys. The Cowboys traveling to South Florida to play the Dolphins. 4:25 game on Christmas Eve. Fellas, Cowboys at Dolphins. Mike, who do you think? Both of these teams can't beat teams with a winning record.
They can't.
Something's got to give.
Let's see. Dallas is playing outdoors on grass. I am taking Miami at home.
All right.
Give me Miami as well.
Both of these teams do not beat teams with winning records this season. It is what it is. Something's got to give. Both of their opponents this week have winning records, and both of the guys say Miami will win that game.
Taking Miami, baby.
Next game on the list, Mike, is the Cardinals at the Bears.
Ooh.
Bears.
I'm taking the Bears. Give me Chicago all day right here.
All right. Derby, Cardinals at Bears.
Give me. Screw it. Give me the Cardinals.
Ooh.
All right.
So you think the Cardinals are going to beat the Steelers' future starting quarterback, Justin Fields? I see how it is.
Yep.
Two once proud franchises, the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. This game's out in Denver. This is the Sunday night game, guys. Sunday night, 8:15 on Christmas Eve. We all just turned on the Christmas Story to play for the next 24 hours. Who wins this football game, Mike? Patriots at Broncos.
Think of the Broncos at home.
Derpy, same question to you. Denver or New England?
Broncos country. Let's ride.
That's what I'm talking about, Derpy.
All right, guys.
I've been telling everybody.
Big
Denver's
AFC West
been slept on all
showdown.
year.
The Raiders at the Chiefs. The Raiders at the
Ooh.
Chiefs. The Raiders just put up a gazillion points last week, guys.
Know.
63 points. They go to Arrowhead on Christmas Day at 1:00. Derpy had opened his presents. His parents already went back to bed. He's playing with his new board games and toys and things. And 1:00 comes along, and the Raiders and the Chiefs are playing. Mike, who wins this football game?
I am taking my upset special of the week, the Las Vegas Raiders over the Kansas City Chiefs.
Derpy, over to you. Raiders, Chiefs. Who are you rooting for on Christmas afternoon?
Give me the Raiders.
Interesting.
Wow, Derpy. I like it. I figured he picked the Chiefs, and that might give him the win right there for the week. But no, I like it. Derpy.
All right, guys. 3 games left on the list. Giants at Eagles. Is there any way that the Eagles lose their 4th straight game, nonetheless, to the New York Giants? Mike, Derpy, Mike, the Giants at Philadelphia.
No, there's no way. There's no way they lose this game. This is the palate cleanser they've been looking for. Yeah, they're going to put a hurting on New York and DeVito.
Where's it at?
It's in Philadelphia.
It's in Philly.
Oh,
because you can't go and lay an egg at Philly, and especially after what Jalen Hurts said. It's looking like guys aren't committed. So yeah.
Who do you like, Derpy? Giants at Eagles.
screw it. Give me the Giants.
Oh, Derpy's upset special of the week.
Woo!
Jalen Hurts is still banged up.
This is true. This is true.
I didn't see that coming. I gotta say, I didn't imagine that anybody would pick the Giants. But you know what, Derpy, you're interesting, being very interesting with your picks this week.
He's cagey. He's putting a little strategery into these picks.
He sure is. The Monday Night Football game on Christmas Day is, guys, what a lot of people are saying could be the preview of the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
What was once the Harbaugh Bowl is no more. The Baltimore Ravens at the San Francisco 49ers, 8:15 on Monday night. Christmas night, guys. The Christmas Story just finished up its 24-hour run. And when everybody's sitting down on Christmas night with the tree lit, everything underneath the tree unwrapped, you turn on TV and there's the Ravens at the 49ers. Mike, who wins this football game?
I'm taking the eventual Super Bowl winner, the San Francisco 49ers.
I think San Fran's going to kill these guys, to be honest with you. Derpy,
I
over
don't think
to
it's gonna be
you.
pretty.
I don't either. Derpy, Ravens at 49ers. Mike took San Francisco.
Give me San Francisco as well.
All right. And finally, one last game, guys, we're going to talk about is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to get our tiebreaker from this game. So I'm going to start with Mike. The Bengals, with no Jamar Chase, comes to town to play the Steelers. We all know the story with these guys. I need your pick, and I need your score of what you think the game is going to be.
I am taking the Cincinnati Bengals 35, the Pittsburgh Steelers 10.
Woo! All right, 45 total points is your tiebreaker. Derpy, over to you. Same question. Bengals at the Steelers.
Bengals at the Steelers. All right, give me the Bengals.
All right.
The over-under, Derpy, for the game is 36.5.
And Mike has 45.
I have 45.
24. 10.
24-10 for a total of 34 points. So there you go, guys. We have the week 16 picks etched in stone. There's a lot of different picks this week, guys. Sometimes a lot of your picks are similar. This week that is not the case. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this turns out. Derpy is the reigning champion from week 15. We will see if that changes or if Derpy builds a little streak here to end the season out. Derpy, of course, wins last week in a 10-10 tie by way of tiebreaker. So it's getting interesting. Derpy's changing his strategy a little bit, Mike, as you could tell. So we will talk more about that on Tuesday, which is the day after Christmas. But Mike, why don't you go ahead for now, talk about the website.
The Dumyinzers.com. Head over there, guys. Merch stores there. Links to all of our socials are over there. The Spotify links there as well. The blogs over there. Yeah, all at the2dumyinzers.com.
All right. Go check it out, everybody. www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.dumyinzers.com. A lot of cool things over there. Go check it out. Guys, we are still doing our Cincinnati Bengals trivia because that is who the Steelers are playing this week. You know how the game's played. You guys ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Derpy, you ready?
Let's do it.
Always got to check his pulse.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. Which Cincinnati running back set a single game NFL rushing record in on 10/22/2000? I'm looking for a Cincinnati running back who set a single game NFL rushing record back in 2000. Take a minute to think that over. We are live, everybody. We're live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, right here, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you missed the show that we do here, you could always check it out in podcast form because the show that we do live every day gets sent over to Spotify at 8 o'clock p.m. Check it out. All right, guys, here is the question of the day. This is a Cincinnati Bengals question because it's who the Steelers play on Saturday. The question is, which Cincinnati Bengal running back set a single game NFL rushing record back in October of 2000? I believe it was about 270 yards, if I'm not mistaken, was how many yards this guy ran that particular game. But I'm looking for the guy. Derpy, I'm going to come to you. Which Cincinnati running back set this record?
I'm just gonna go with what I said before. Eddie George. Screw it.
Eddie George. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to lock Derpy in.
I don't know.
Mike, over to you. Which Cincinnati running back set a single game NFL rushing record back in October of 2000? I'm looking for the back.
I can picture one running back from that era, and I cannot remember his name.
Want to take a stab like Derpy?
No, I have nothing. Nothing, dude.
Exactly my exact.
I can picture him. I can picture his running style. I'm out. I got
All
nothing.
right.
The only one I can think of. No, I can't. I can't. It's
All right,
not
you're
there.
locked in on that.
I'm
Guys,
locked in on yeah.
the
Carson
question of the
Palmer. Fuck
day
it.
is this: which Cincinnati running back set a single game rushing record back in October of 2000? Was roughly 271, 278 yards, something like this. The correct answer, Derpy says Eddie George. Mike's had no clue. The correct answer, guys, was Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon. I was going to give you choices, but I thought that would be too easy. The choices were Icky Woods, Rudy Johnson, Corey Dillon, and Kajana Carter.
Yeah, the moment you would have said Corey Dillon,
that's what I figured. So I didn't give the option this week.
Mm-hmm.
But only one more day of the Bengals questions. Those will be tomorrow, and then they'll be done for the year. Anything before we start to wrap up, Mike?
No, I really got nothing, man. I can't wait for this game. I can't wait to see what new drama is going to unfold. As I just noticed scrolling Twitter, George Pickens on social media, on Instagram, beginning of the year, he followed every quarterback. The only one he follows is Mason Rudolph. This might be a sign that George Pickens going off for like 10 catches, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Him and Mason, man, they're going to be out there cooking.
Derpy.
Rudolph, the head, helmet, banging ring, quarterback. Let's go. I totally failed that, but you get
you failed, but the point
you get the idea.
The point was put across. We understood what you were saying. You butchered it, but we got what you're saying, bro.
Helmet head, the what was
quarterback.
It?
Helmet,
Rudolph, the Rudolph, the helmet head quarterback. Is that what you're trying to say? I like it. But great job today, guys. Maybe, just maybe, Derpy. We may have one more. We may have one more week, one more game next week of the Old Satan nicknames. I know Christmas will be over at that point, but maybe we'll give you another chance, an opportunity to get back, and that's maybe just brush up on your nicknames in pro sports over the next week or so. But we will see on that. Anything else, guys? Anything before we go? Speak now.
Nothing.
I got something.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go, Derp.
It's from it's a quote from Elf.
Derpy disappears for the hour, but then in the last 10 seconds, he's like, oh, hold on, I got something to say.
He's like, I got it.
All right, from the Elf.
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is to sing aloud to all year. There you go.
There you go. All right.
That's just a quote from Elf.
Okay, there you go, guys. I have a quote from Elf. For the 2 Dum